Matilda and
Dr.
Magita.
Rajab.
Yeah.
Dr. Rajab is with us. Yeah.
Hello, Dr.
I'm Ziad.
Rajab.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello.
Well,
Really
nice to be
appreciate
here. Let me see if I can turn my volume up. Oh, hi, Khalid. How are you? I can see you up there, and I know you up there on the top right.
Yeah, so we'll go around and introduce ourselves in a few minutes.
Yes.
We're waiting for a few more people to join in.
Sure.
And then thanks for joining us from your vacation in France. Really appreciate that.
Where in France are you?
There you go.
Oh, much better.
Yeah, now we can see you.
You can see me now, yeah.
Dr. Ziad, you're looking more and more like your mother every day.
It's the eyes, isn't it?
Yeah, the eyes and the way, and when you smile, the way the smile, the face, how it goes, it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I know. Everybody says I look like my mother. And so you're looking very young, I have to say.
That's good.
We are young.
Very young
You don't mind?
and spring chickeny.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
That's good. And Raad is joining us. It looks like he's driving.
Yes, but he needs to close that sunroof. The sun is in our eyes.
Yeah, he's got the sunroof open.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
You're muted.
You need to, your audio. Okay.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, sure.
Looking good.
Okay.
Hope you're safe driving and
I am. I'm just going to be about 15 minutes before I get to a desk, but I figured I'd jump on anyway.
Okay. We're waiting.
Hopefully your hands free.
Not these hands.
So Khalid, how do you
Nader,
get
I was hoping
everything
your mother
on-
would join in. Did you reach out to her, Mrs. Saya?
Yes, she's not able to. She's a little under the weather.
Oh, that's too bad.
Thank you.
Salamata.
Oh,
Salamata.
Nader, Mrs. Sayer is your mother. Wow.
Yes, Mrs. Saya is my mother.
Oh, yeah,
My first music
fantastic.
teacher.
Oh, God. I never forget her. How is she?
She's doing well, thank God. She's still teaching piano.
Wow, amazing. I always remember being in her class and she said, "Oh, Ziad, you have a nice voice." And I'm sure she was just being kind.
She was kind to everyone. I remember.
She was. She is.
I
Yes.
started in Infant 2, and she was my music teacher, I think till Junior 1, and then we moved on.
Oh, wow. Well, please send her my very best wishes. We always remember her a lot.
Oh, thank you, Ziad.
And that's Joanna.
Oh, so Joanna, your sister was Stella, right?
That's right. Yeah. Hi.
Oh, wow. Gosh.
How are you all?
We're all doing
Anyone
good.
who hasn't changed at all, who looked exactly the same like 40 years ago.
I have you. Hi, Rana.
Hi,
It's so
how are
good to
you?
see you guys all. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, everybody
Yeah.
should have their name plus their location
That's true.
next to
Okay.
it.
Hi, Intisar. Hi, everybody. Okay.
How do you put location? I don't know how to do that.
I don't know. We'd have to edit our names. So where is everybody? Starting from
How do you
Khalid.
do that?
You're in Chicago.
I'm in Chicago, yes, in the suburb of Chicago. Yep.
Okay, I'm in France, and
Whereabouts in France are you?
right now I'm in Rennes, but I drove up here from somewhere near Cannes, and so I had a lovely week all by myself in the car.
Oh, wow.
You drove right past my place, going from Cannes to the north, you drive past where I live. I live near Lyon.
It was fantastic. Oh, you are there now, near Lyon?
Yeah. Well, I'm not in Lyon itself, but I live close. I live between Geneva and Lyon.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, because when we drive back to near Cannes, we'll be passing. Our idea was either to go to Dijon or to Lyon, and most probably it's going to be Dijon. But yeah, it's nice. The weather's lovely.
Well, we've had a lot of rain lately, but it's clearing up, so it's fine. No flooding though. Some got it worse.
Yeah, I've been swimming in the 15 degrees centigrade sea. It was cold.
Too cold.
That's freezing.
And you're in Kuwait?
Yes, I'm in Kuwait. I just adjusted that.
You're in Kuwait. Anybody else in Kuwait?
Yes. Sorry?
Anybody else in Kuwait?
No, just me and Intisar right now. Yeah.
Even you're not in Kuwait.
No, I am in Kuwait.
Lala,
Yeah.
Dr. Rajab is not in Kuwait.
Dr. Rajab is not in Kuwait. Yeah, he should be.
I ran away. I ran away.
How did you do that?
I took Lufthansa to Nice.
Well,
I'm
at the moment, I
vaccinated.
cannot leave Kuwait, even if I wanted to.
Why
Because
is that?
if I leave Kuwait, I can't come back in.
Yeah,
until they
yeah.
change
Yeah. Wow.
because of
That is
non-Kuwaitis,
bad.
you know, with COVID and all that.
Yeah.
Are you vaccinated, Rana?
Yes.
You can
both
leave and
vaccines.
come back in August.
Yeah, it's August, but you know, Mahani, every week they change the
They
you
do.
know them. They meet on a Thursday and then they change the law.
Yeah.
And it isn't like, you know, I'm running to go to Lebanon at the moment, unfortunately. And my family is in Europe. So again, Schengen visa and all that. And some areas are red areas and some are blue zones and whatever. So
But Rana,
I'm
the French embassy is issuing visas quite straightforwardly.
Unfortunately, my parents in Norway, they've always wanted a German Schengen visa. And my sisters in Denmark, they always insist I get, I don't know which other country, and I have to get it through Saudi Arabia. So complicated. I don't know why Norway will not accept any other Schengen visa, just the Germans.
Oh.
I like Kuwait. I'm sticking in Kuwait.
Well, I miss it.
Rana, if you want, I know the ambassador very well. I can support you in getting a German visa if you want.
Oh, okay. What about coming
You have
back?
my-
They changed that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll keep it in mind.
They will have to open it. At the most, they'll close it a couple of weeks and they're opening it. Because, you see, once more people are vaccinated, they can't close it.
Yeah.
This reminds
Okay,
me of
because
my-
If you see the numbers,
This reminds me of a very
if you
old
see
word
the
I remember
numbers, it's
called Wasta?
mostly the non-vaccinated
Wasta,
ones.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind because I'm missing
Wasta.
my niece's wedding actually, which is in August. But yeah, okay.
Message me.
Okay.
Let's do
Thanks.
this before we hear
Yeah.
from Dr. Rajab. Why don't we just go around one time and just say your name and where you are, and you just go all the way. According to my screen here, I'm assuming we all see the same way. Mikey, why don't you start with you, because you're in my top left here. Just your name.
Yeah, I seem to have come on first. Well, as I just wrote down, I'm in a tiny little village called Breny-Cordon in the east of France. I've been here for 10 years. And after I left Kuwait, I did a little stint in Germany first to get my driving license and took dancing lessons because my mother insisted that a lady had to take dancing lessons, but I didn't last long. So then I went to Paris and I went to Geneva and I worked 2 years on a cruise ship and then I went back to Germany and well, now I'm in France.
Wonderful.
I'm proud of it.
And like I
Still
said,
working in France or just?
Yes, I used to work in Luxembourg before I came here, and when my husband had the opportunity to move to France, they very nicely said I could work from home. So I'm still working for the same company, but I work from home now. Have been doing it for the last 10 years.
Wow.
Which is very, very nice and relaxing. You can basically work whenever you want.
okay. Let's just get the short version. Dr. Rajab, we have you for a while, right? You're able to stick around for a while?
Yeah, I can stay. I'm, well, 6:30 I was going to say.
So let's just make it just the name and the location so that we kind of have an idea where everybody is. And then we'll come down and do more detailed introductions later. So I'm Khalid and I'm here in Chicago. And Intisar, you're next on my screen.
Hi, I'm Intisar. I'm in Kuwait.
And Andrew, you're next.
Yeah, Andrew Overton in the UK.
Okay. And Dina?
Hi, I'm in Sydney at the moment.
Sydney. All right. Amir, you're next.
Amir in San Francisco Bay Area.
Wonderful. Rana.
Rana, I'm in Kuwait.
Wonderful. And Lue, you are muted, so if you can unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. Loai from Dubai.
Wonderful. Peter.
Hi, Peter. I'm in the Isle of Man, which is a small island.
Man. Yes.
In England's Ireland.
Asia.
Hi, I'm Asia, and I'm in Dubai as well. Hi, Loai. We're in the same city. Didn't realize that. Surprise. And hi, Sangeeta. I just saw you on the screen.
All right. And Nader.
I'm Nader, and I am in the DC area in Virginia.
So you're back from Hawaii. All right. Sorry.
Andrew, congratulations on being a grandfather.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
For the second time, I think, or third time. How many? Yeah.
Four. Wow.
Right.
Hi.
Sangeeta, you're next.
Hi everyone. Good to see all familiar faces. Some people I can recognize. I'm in SF Bay Area.
San Francisco. Wonderful. And Dr. Raja will come back to you in a second. Joanna.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm now posted in Alexandria, Egypt.
Oh, wonderful. And Padma.
You're on mute.
You're muted, Padma.
Hi, I'm Padma. I'm in Mumbai, India.
Wonderful. And Raad.
Raad in California, Southern California.
She's got a cat down there.
All right, so let's turn it over for a few minutes to Dr. Rajab here. Thank you so much. As we all know, he's the current director of NES, and we'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me. I wish I could stay longer, seriously. But, you know, being on holiday, on the road, I'm in and out all the time. And actually, my son's wife's family live here in Brittany. So we're invited out with them. His wife is French, of course, so which is why I'm in Brittany. But as I said, it's lovely to be here. Wonderful that you've organized this, Khalid. I think you are the main instigator here. Yeah, fantastic. And, you know, I've had a few Zoom meetings over this past 18 months. I'm sure all of us have. And it's sometimes a little bit disconcerting, but actually it seems quite nice here and it's working quite well. So, yeah. Thanks for organizing this on Zoom rather than in Kuwait. It would have been lovely, of course, to host you all in Kuwait. I'm not sure who would have come. Oh, some of us have.
Hi, Ruwaida. She cannot see us yet.
So yeah, let's, if everybody else could mute themselves for right now while Dr. Ziad is talking. Go ahead, Dr. Ziad. Dr.
Well, I'm hogging the microphone.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, yeah, it would have been lovely to host you all in Kuwait. So I think a couple of you, just a couple of you, were at the 50th that we had in 2019, and really, I'd also like to welcome you all here on behalf of my parents, because I know my parents, number one, would have been so proud to see you all, really. They would have done. They were always very proud of ex-NES students. And as you know, in the early days, well, you weren't there as early as I was. I was just trying to work out, you know, how many years younger you were then. So it turns out you were 7 years behind me, because I did my O-levels in 1974. And my parents knew, especially my mother, knew practically everybody at the school in those days, and of course their parents probably more so, but also individual people. So they would have been so happy to have seen you in the 2019 50th, of course, and today. And I think all of us remember those days. I know every single generation says this. In our day, things were much better. But I think really, for us, things were very different. And for me, I mean, I'm enjoying life now, and I think things are wonderful except for COVID. But things were great in those days. Kuwait was a little bit different than it is now. But I think one thing is still the same at the school, and that is the cosmopolitanness, if I can say that, of the school, and how when we were at schools, we had friends of every single nationality one could imagine, and we never thought that this person was from Kuwait, or that person was British or Indian or Palestinian or whatever. We were just friends. We didn't know the religions of most of our friends. I didn't know. We never discussed religion in those days. We were just friends and colleagues, and I think really basically the school is still like that. And I hear people, young people graduating now, saying the same thing about the school, that there's such an accepting, tolerant, cosmopolitan environment there, and that I think has brought us all to where we are today, as cosmopolitan people who fit in everywhere, but also at the same time, sometimes I'm sure a lot of you think we don't fit in anywhere, but so it's both. We fit in everywhere and we don't, but we're comfortable everywhere. And I wish I could stay longer, because I'd like to know, for example, Joanna, what you're doing in Egypt, and everybody else too. I'd love to know where you all are, and Peter, and I didn't know you at school, but I love the Isle of Man. It's a beautiful island, and so yeah, I'd like to hear about that. So I'm sorry I have to leave soon. But these days are good too. I mean, in those days we didn't have internet, and we have internet now, and look what the internet is doing for us right now, and especially over the last 18 months, it's been a lifesaver. And these, I think we're the fortunate ones in these last 18 months. So many people around the planet have lost jobs, have lost people to COVID, and have had life-changing experiences due to COVID. And so we're the fortunate ones. I consider myself extremely lucky. Look at me, I'm here in France, and people are stuck where they are. But the internet has been a lifesaver, because we've been able to communicate with family abroad. So I haven't seen my son and his family, my grandchildren, for a year and a half. It's wonderful to see them now, but we've been in regular contact on the internet, as I'm sure every single one of us here has done with their families. So there've been positive things, even though we have been living through a terrible time. I hope we can organize, maybe Khalid, as you seem to be the organizer, something in Kuwait. It would be fantastic to see you all there once we all have the ability to travel. And really, I'd like to, I mean, as I said, most of you I don't know. Nader, you were a little boy when I was in school. I know your mother, and Sar, of course, I know you. Khalid, I knew your sister, and Joanna, I knew your sister as well. And but the rest I didn't, and it would be lovely to meet you in person and to hear what you're doing. So, well, once again, thank you. And on behalf of the rest of my family, I've left my sister in charge in Kuwait. And when I get back, she'll be able to escape for a little bit, hopefully. So, yeah, so it's wonderful seeing you all, and thank you, Khalid.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Dr. Ziad, before you go, I just wanted to let you know I visited the old New English school in Dahia just 2 months ago.
That's your brother's house, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I haven't visited, and I visited oh my God, the name come. And I visited, and the rooms are still there. It's almost the same. It was amazing.
Can you take me there one day?
When you come back.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to see it.
I'll talk to Hussein Afshar because Hussein is living there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been living there for I think 27 years. He's
really?
Yeah.
Lucky him. It's a lovely building. We have such memories of that place, honestly.
Yeah. When you come back, let me know when we'll both go together.
I will. Thank you. Yeah, I'd
especially
love to
the swimming pool. Is the swimming pool still there in Tassar?
Yeah, it's not so good, and I think they've closed the swimming. Hold on, no, the swimming pool's there. The swimming pool's there.
Okay, I'm gonna post some pictures of me on the side of the pool.
Yeah.
The small one or the big one? The one with the ducks in them, or the one where we used to play football?
Yes, the one that was always empty.
Football inside.
Yes.
At the back where everybody used to go and hide. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, in the tuck shop, right next to the old tuck shop back there.
Oh gosh, yeah. Wow.
Before you go, Dr. Ziad, I don't know if you can. I can switch the screen. Let me just try. I just want to show. Yep, the map. Can everybody see this? This map?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So that's Jabriya right there, and New English School is right in the middle. This is like just from like a month ago or something. This picture, and
wow.
I guess the buses are parked inside for the summer, maybe right on the.
Yeah. Well, this picture was just a month. Yeah.
A month ago. Okay.
Well, when I left Kuwait, the bus, which was the 16th of June, the buses were still outside.
They're still outside. And
Yeah.
yes, the museums are right next to the school, I believe.
Yeah.
And this is like where our buildings, and then chemistry building and the old junior school, and then the new building.
Does everybody remember when they were building, I think it's the 4th Ring Road, which is the motorway adjacent? And I remember
yes.
I remember when they were building it, they used to have these rolling vibration machines that compacted the soil, and it used to shake the whole school. We thought there were earthquakes.
Yeah, amazing.
We used to jump over the fence and then hitchhike into Kuwait City, Pramjit, Chatwal and myself. So
amazing. All right, I'm going to switch back to, if I can find the...
Post that. You should post.
Yeah, inshallah.
Wow.
Share. There you go. We're back.
Oh.
Okay. So yes, and going along with what you were saying about your parents, I personally owe them a lot my whole life, for what we are today, based on, the vision they had, and, they affected the lives of over 1,000, thousands of kids, and alhamdulillah, may they rest.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Everybody says that, but I always say after that, yes, but it's coupled with a choice that your family's made, your parents, and also with the upbringing that your parents had, because it's always a three-way process. It's the school, the parents, and the child, of course, himself. So it's a three-way equation. Yeah, and then and the parents made the right choice and had the right upbringing.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
And school is in good hands. The museums are in good hands. Inshallah, it'll continue on and continue the legacy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the time. I think you're here till 7 o'clock.
As long as people stick around, yes.
Okay. Well, lovely to see you all.
It was 1 hour long, but it lasted 2, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, Khalid, maybe everybody could write a little thing about where they are and what they're doing and why they're there, as I was asking before. I'd love to know.
Okay.
And send it to Khalid.
And this is recorded, so you can hear it afterwards if you want.
Yes.
Oh,
that's good.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll do that. Yeah. Actually, somebody asked me for the recording, so I'll send it to them afterwards if you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, and I usually
fantastic.
upload it to my YouTube account, and then I'll send
Okay.
you the link, and so you'll have, everybody will have it. And especially those who couldn't attend today. There were several of us that couldn't, so they're anxious to look at the video. So I'll do that.
Great, great, lovely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you all. Take care. Good luck, and hope to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Please keep in touch. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wonderful. So good. So why don't we, I don't know if everybody saw that a little bit more into depth. Rueda, you just joined us. If you can unmute yourself, introduce yourself where you are, and then we'll actually spend a few minutes listening to Intisar after that. So Rueda, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's been a long time. I missed the last reunion, unfortunately. And I almost missed this one because I guess I'm not that active on Facebook these days. But it's so lovely to see everyone. You all look amazing, and it brings me back 40 years back. So wow, good to see you. I'm actually in Canada, in the capital, Ottawa, Ontario, and I've been here for 30 years. I'm married to a French Canadian, so he keeps trying to teach me French, but let me tell you, I'm not picking it up fast enough. Yeah, my whole family came actually 30 years ago. My brothers, I have 2 younger ones, and they were both in New English school. So I miss it. I miss you guys. I haven't been back to Kuwait, unfortunately, and Rana keeps inviting me all the time. One day, probably I'll do it. And it's good to see some familiar faces, but I don't really recognize all of you. And hopefully I'll get to know you soon enough. Rena and I have been in contact, and she keeps me updated on everything. She's good with that. Yeah, I work for the government, and you know, I have been with the government for, I don't know, 17 years. So yeah, I studied computer science, and now I'm a project lead. So it's been good. I'm enjoying it. Don't have much longer to retire. So that's something else I'm looking forward to. My husband is already retired, so it makes a difference. And I've been told that I have a background picture and it doesn't look good. Rena's telling me, so maybe next time I'll remove it.
Now it's looking
I just
good.
didn't have a chance this time.
Very good.
So, that's pretty much about me. I don't have any kids, so yeah, it hasn't been probably as hectic as other people have faced, especially in the pandemic. You know, having kids has been, I hear, very difficult. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's
so that's about it for me, I guess.
Appreciate it. Let's hear from one more person before we switch it over to Intisar. Somebody who wasn't here in the last meeting. So that's quite a few of you. Andrew, Loay, Sangeeta, whoever wants to go can raise their hand. And just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, Loy, go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I've been in Dubai for 30 years now. I met a few people when we had the get together in Kuwait. I think that was like 10 years ago or something. I was trying to remember.
Well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny. Anyways, my two, I have twins who just finished their O levels, or they call them IGCSEs now this year. So I was just telling them earlier today that, you know, 40 years ago is when I did mine, and we were having this call. So it's like, wow. So I like I said, I've been in Dubai for 30 years. I work for a tech firm called Autodesk. I've been with them for the last 10 years, and I run their business for pretty much any what we call emerging EMEA or emerging Europe, which is like Middle East, Africa, Russia, CIS. So I typically I'm on a plane every week until pandemic hit, and I haven't been on a plane since. So it's a strange feeling living on Zoom 24/7, like most of us, I guess. Yeah, and you know, I get in touch with Rana every once in a while just to bug her about football because she supports the wrong team. And
But Dina
yeah,
is on your side.
yeah, of course. I think that's about it for me.
Wonderful, wonderful. Good to hear from you, Loy. I think it was your aunt, so sorry about your aunt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah, Allah yarhamha. Yeah.
So let's, is anybody here that's got to go in the next 10 minutes? Hopefully everybody can stick around, right? Okay, sounds like it.
Sorry, I do have to go. I have a hard stop in about 15 minutes.
Oh, you know what? Intisar, if it's okay with you, just let's hear from Sangeeta and then we'll come over to you. So Sangeeta, why don't you spend a couple of minutes telling us where you are?
Sure. Yeah, so I've been in the San Francisco Bay Area since I think 1987. Typically, I would say, I don't want to date myself, so I wouldn't even say what year, but we're all the same here. I'm assuming same ages, So yeah, I work for a company called Viacom CBS. I'm like a systems analyst, and so I did my computer science degree, and it's been good, except a lot of like neck issues because I'm always on the computer, and I'm sure a lot of people have gone through similar issues, but I haven't been back to Kuwait since I left, I think since 1986. I would love to go back, and I've been to Dubai many, many times. I kind of like really curious to see how much Kuwait has changed. But yeah, hopefully, once this pandemic settles, which God knows how long, but the only trip I did recently was to go to New York because my son lives in New York. He works there. So I did that after about 1.5 years. And let me tell you, it was a nightmare, just like there's so many people traveling and they have all these bizarre rules, like, oh, keep your mask on until you're eating and drinking. And it's like, okay, what does that even mean? I mean, what's the point? So anyway, just navigating through all these changes, it's been unreal, but it's so good to see everybody's faces. And I recognize most, I think by at least over 50%. Last names have changed for some. Asya, I haven't heard or seen from you forever. You're on mute.
I'm not very active on Facebook, social media, but it's the first time. I didn't know there was a group as such. I was just invited this morning, and I had no idea, but it's been great seeing everybody. It's just so lovely to see everybody. Oh, it just brings back those lovely memories. I was just looking at the yearbook. I've lost the yearbook, but my brother-in-law, he sent me some screenshots, and they're just lovely pictures of us during break time, chatting away. Paddy, you and Sangeeta, all of us sitting together. Oh my goodness, it's amazing.
I'm also curious if anybody knows what tuck shop meant. After all these years, I'm like, why did they call it tuck shop? Does it mean something? Or is
the English is to tuck in, means to eat. So I think it probably came from that.
Ah, nice to know, finally.
Finally, how many years?
I know. And Patty, I'd been looking for Patty for the last, I don't know how many years. And then finally I found her about 10 years ago, and we've met a few times, and it's been really, really nice. But I would love to have an actual reunion and see everyone. Yeah.
Inshallah soon.
And Khalid, I really, really applaud you, because I think without you, we wouldn't have been doing this or connected in any way. So I really applaud you.
I'm already planning the 50th reunion. Yeah, inshallah. That's good. Very good. Thank you.
Don't forget to plan the in-between ones also, okay. Not just the...
Oh, people will start running away from me like crazy then. Oh, no, here comes again. Okay.
You should do it every 10 years. And then,
we'll continue these. Yes, Andrew?
You should do it every 10 years, and then just we do it to the last man standing. So you do the 100th, and then the.
Okay, inshallah. Okay.
But were there some actual meetings? I think there was one in Greece somewhere.
Yeah.
I read about some couple of years back, I believe, from Trevinian, and there was another one.
There is one every year. Actually, we're going to one next week.
Oh, okay.
It's organized by Marios Pashardis. He was a little bit older than us.
Yeah.
And he organizes one almost every year. We stopped during the pandemic, so we didn't go last year.
Okay.
It's usually on a Greek island. It's one of the Greek islands. So this year it's on Syros.
Well, Greece has just been declared high risk, so
yeah,
probably going to be a bit difficult getting there.
Okay,
I think it's as high risk as Egypt. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Let's spend the next few minutes hearing from Intisar. As I've been learning more about her, I am so totally inspired. I don't mean to flatter you, but seriously, I didn't know the depth of your work until I started looking in the internet and finding all these articles about you. SubhanAllah, I mean, it's amazing. So let's hear a little bit about your work about Kuwait. One of the objectives of this was to reconnect with Kuwait also, and NES and our classmates. So Intisar does all three for us. So let's hear from you, Intisar. And
oh, thank you so much. Firstly, it's so beautiful to see all your faces. And I'm, you know, once you exchange memories of what happened, it's almost like brings back my memories too. So thank you also for shifting my memories. Peter, were you really bad in music?
I used to do an awful lot of music at school, sort of
so it's not
guitar,
you.
School band.
Because I remember sitting next to someone, and I was really bad in music, and I copied everything he wrote in the exam, and it wasn't even right what I copied. So we were, and the teacher looked at me, and because he was so bad, so it wasn't you. Someone was really bad.
I'm going to tell my mother. Okay, Intisar?
I don't know if it was Mrs. Sayed. I don't remember. I remember it was on the top floor. And then they said, okay, we know you don't cheat, and so it must be him. But I mean, instead of a clef, he had put ABC. So it was something so totally out there. He got punished, and I felt so stupid for copying something that wasn't even what music should be. So I think we both were punished, but I don't remember who it was. Anyway, so thank you so much, Khalid, for this. I'm really blessed to be able to do what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I've done in Kuwait. So what I've done in Kuwait is I have an initiative that uses positive psychology, and we make it into tools or exercises that everyone can use. I started in 2013. At the time, everyone was saying, we shouldn't be positive. Everything's so bad. Everything's so bad. And that's exactly why I started. We spun out of that. So we worked in malls. We worked in the street. We worked online. And then we spun off two initiatives from it. One was we won't call it an anti-bullying, but it's turning bullying into kindness. And I remember in one of the, and what we do is we use applied theater. So thank you, Khalid. So we go to schools, we take the bullies, the bullied, and the bystanders, and when we put them in a play together, and before the play for 7 days, they have to do applied theater techniques. They have to embody the feelings. They have to feel themselves. They have to have empathy with themselves and with also the fellow actors, so they can build rapport and have empathy with the audience, because at the end the audience are their peers from school. So we have everywhere between 200 to 300 students watching, and during the show the students also re-script the play, so they give better solutions of how bullying can turn into kindness. And the little girl with the little ears is the bullied one. This is Bayan bilingual, and it's a very elitist school. And this little girl is, as you see, veiled by her parents, and so she's always bullied. And and her mother was just so happy because the girl just found herself. So this is one of my favorite pictures, because I just find those children so adorable. So that's one we do in schools. And the other one, we have a curriculum that we've done with, I put this picture because I love it. We have a curriculum that we've done with specialists in positive psychology, and we implement the curriculum. We train the teachers. So pre-pandemic, we were training up to 500 teachers to implement the program in 47 governmental high schools on about 11,700 students. We've had huge shifts, and we took the auditorium there, and it's at the end of the year, we bring the students there wearing orange, and we have lots of VIPs, and we do a play, and we also commemorate the winners because we have awards for the best school, for the best students, and also the best teachers. So it's a way to get people all to sort of celebrate a more positive mindset and a better outlook on life. And this is one of the things we've done, and it's Masir Safra, which is Yellow Parade. And we do that to spread, I mean, this is one of the campaigns we did, which is to spread kindness on the streets. So we ask everyone with a yellow car to come, and we drive down the Gulf Road, and anyone who joins us has to pledge that they will be driving kindly. And also we want to spread happiness, and these are all volunteers, and as you can see, everyone's smiling and having fun. And I think there's a picture, yeah, and you see that on the towers, you see all the yellow cars, that's a smiley face. So that's our last one, 2018. And we put a smiley face, so it's like the eyes in the face. So we always post a picture at the end just to celebrate that day. What else do we have, Khalid? Oh, and that's my team. They just thought it was so funny to scream when the picture was being taken. And I actually spoke at the International Day for Education at the UN about the work we're doing in Kuwait using positive psychology in schools. I think we're the only non-profit, because I'm working with the Lord in the UK and they still can't do things like this. Thank God Kuwait's small and you can get things done. And I was actually the first to represent the first ever NGO to speak about education, Kuwait education in the UN. So I'm treble proud of that. And you know, the funny thing is, I got the letter from the president, and I was in Egypt. I was on a boat trip on the Nile. Well, I was supposed to be on the boat trip on the Nile, and they said, it's that day. I said, I'm in the middle of the Nile. And I said, okay, I'll get there. So I had to drive for 4 hours to get to Luxor airport, go to Cairo, sleep at night, get on the first plane to New York, get to New York, sleep, wake up in the morning, go to the National General Assembly. And I know it's the president sending me a letter, but I didn't know it was such a big deal. So I go in, and it's the whole room, it's not the big one, it's the second biggest one. So the whole room is full. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was taking pictures. I put my camera up. I took pictures of everyone. And I was sending texts to my daughters, and they say, what are you doing? I said, what? They're going to kick me out of the podium? They can't. So I had fun. That was the most memorable day. Usually I panic, and that day I didn't. And I also have done a book about Kuwait in 400 years. It's a picture and information book. Rana, did you see it?
Yeah.
Rana, did you see it?
No.
Okay. So I did a picture. So it's pictures and a small caption, and it's like the history of Kuwait. So everything happening in Kuwait.
Oh yeah, the
And
book. Yes, yeah.
Starting,
yes, yeah.
Yeah. We started, the beginning of New English School, the beginning of the American ASK. So these were milestones in Kuwait. And I've done another 3 books. Anyway, I do a lot of things. My latest is I started an NGO that's registered in the UK, but working in the Arab world, where we're using drama therapy and theater techniques to self-empower women to become peace builders. it's a crazy idea, but it works just like everything else I do. They're really crazy ideas, but they work really well. And we're talking now to the UN DP to scale it up.
Excellent.
And just like Louay, thank you. And just like Louay, I used to be on the plane all the time, and I haven't traveled since the beginning of pandemic, and I'm so happy. And I'm enjoying just being at home, and I'm gardening, and I'm working on regenerative agriculture. So I'm having fun.
Excellent, excellent, very inspirational work. May God give you the resources and the energy to continue with that, and bring well-being to everyone in Kuwait and the Arab world and around the world, inshallah. So good luck with that, and it's very inspirational. And I do wish everybody would kind of Google her and find out. Really, I mean, she's been doing such amazing work.
Oh yeah, I'm famous. Oh my God!
Now you're famous. So.
I get stopped on the road, and everyone's take a picture of me. I'm a celebrity, and I love it.
You didn't mention the movies as well.
Oh yeah, and I produced 4 movies. Sorry about that.
So when we come to Kuwait, we know who to look up, right? Okay. Sounds good.
I'm quite the influential person in Kuwait, seriously. And I have to go because I've got like 3 ambassadors for dinner in 6 minutes.
Oh, okay. So whenever you gotta go, you gotta go. Thank you so much. Very good.
Jawad joined us somewhere. Where is he?
He came and
yeah.
He dropped out. He'll come back. He'll come back. So yeah, thank you so much. And we'll get to Peter Craig's paintings in a few minutes from that his dad has done, Mr. Joe Craig.
Khalid?
Yes.
Khalid, I have to go at 6, well, in 6 minutes as well. So.
Can you speak real fast then? I'm going to show everybody to enjoy the paintings. And let me just switch over to that. But speak fast. And we got.
Yeah, will do.
Okay.
So anyone who came round to our house will remember that my father was always painting, and there are hundreds and hundreds in our house here in the Isle of Man. My parents live here as well. So starting this one, this was one of the old Dow harbours. I think it's one by Seif Palace. This painting is actually over my fireplace. It's one of the favourites that he ever did. Typical Dow. There were a lot of those pen and ink done. Ah, here we go. So, but you recognise Seif Palace there.
Seif Palace, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's all a bit more built up now. And this was the camping. This was always, so we lived in Salwa, and outside the 6th Ring Road, which I think it's all built on now, but everyone used to go in the springtime and camp.
Peter, there was something wrong with that other picture. There are clouds in the sky.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I said. It was in springtime.
It's in springtime. No, there are clouds.
If you zoom in, you can actually see the water towers that we used to run around as well.
Oh, yes, I see it.
Yeah. Then moving on, the next one, I think Nader might remember this. You know, remember the church building that the National Evangelical Church. So that was down on the seafront.
Oh, yes, yes.
Hotel. Yeah, and that was the pastor's residence. This one's on Failaka, if I remember rightly, one of the old buildings. Now this one, I think it's near Dasman Palace.
It is, and it's still there.
Is
but
it
with
still
more
there?
buildings around it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing the square building is still there, but I wasn't sure if the mosque would still be there. It was times where it was developing then, and was that 87? This isn't one of my dad's. This was done by a friend of ours, but it's actually our garden. Of course, I think we all remember the bougainvillea that grew everywhere as we were growing up. And we got one more. Now, is Intisar still on? Because this is Dame Violet Dixon's house.
Oh, St. Violet.
Still there. It's a museum now.
Yeah, yeah, I'd have thought so.
She was a character.
She was quite a wonderful woman. We, you know, again through the church, we knew her really, really well. Yeah, marvelous history, and we all know that one. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
And that's the Seif Palace.
Oh, Seif Palace again. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, so just echo what everyone else is saying, and you know, Khaled, I'm going to just have to drop off, but I think some of the things Dr. Riyad was saying on, you know, the grounding the school gave us, the friendships we have, and you know, the fact that we come on now 40 years later. I know Khaled and I have conversations. Andrew and I, we met up about 4 years ago.
He's back, Gigo.
We were skiing together, and we actually go to the same place, and we tried for it must have been about 4 or 5 years before I saw Andrew. And Mark, Paul, and myself, we have regular chats, and it's just nice to know that we're all here. We're still all.
Peter, did you see the picture I posted of you playing the guitar in the?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I thought that's so typical, and that's my proof that it wasn't me that you didn't get the good mark with in music. That was the only subject I was any good at.
I failed miserably.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peter, and amazing by your dad. And I'm glad you were able to you know paid a tribute to all of his work this way. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Khaled.
All right. So hey, since we have Jawad that just joined us, how you doing, Jawad? What we're doing is we're kind of going around introducing ourselves. I'm assuming you can hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. So why don't we give you an opportunity? Just take a minute to introduce yourself, where you are, what you're doing, and then we'll just go around. Just so I want to make sure we hear from everyone, so that I know we're up on our hour here. So let's just kind of keep it short, hear from everyone, and then we can come back and continue our conversation. So go ahead, Jawad.
I'm Gawad Adham. Most of you guys that I can see, I think probably know me. We were in class together at Sar, Khaled. Nader, how you doing, man?
Gawad.
AKA Gigo. We always called you Gigo.
Hey, Anna, how are you?
Okay.
Hey, how are things? So yeah, I graduated from. I did my O levels in at NES, and then I left. I came to Egypt. I think it was 2 years at the AUC, American University of Cairo, and I left. We immigrated to Canada after that. I ended up working in the fitness industry, and stayed working in the fitness industry for several years. And then I went back to Kuwait, actually, right after the, let's see, before the invasion, I was there for a couple of years, and then after the invasion, I was there for a couple of years. And then I got married, had a child, came back to Egypt, and the family opened up a little bed and breakfast, which I've been running ever since. In fact, we just made a decision to sell the business because everyone's pretty much left Egypt, my brothers and my family and so on. So, yeah. And here I am. Not too sure what I'm going to do next. Maybe go back to Canada or start another business here in Egypt in the Red Sea or something. But that's
excellent.
Pretty much it in a nutshell.
Excellent. Great to see you after all these years. We had an early start. I know. I don't know when you started. I know you were there in Junior 1. Maybe even before that. I think you were there in Infantry, Infant 2, maybe even.
I think I was there. If I remember correctly, I think it was from. I may have joined at some point. I think it was Junior 1, maybe kindergarten.
Oh no. much earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
I remember
Jawad,
Nader.
you were
I think
with
I
me
remember Nader being the earliest there.
yeah, I remember you, Jawad, you, Amr, Khalid, who else? From the very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, in the old school.
So about me? Actually, I started in 1A. I mean, Form 1.
Yeah.
The high school.
Yeah, I think you started in senior school. Amir.
Yeah, senior school.
So
I was looking at the book, so that's why I was.
well, let's hear from someone we didn't hear last time too. Rod, I'm just going to go around the screen. So again, introduce yourself and what you're up to. Just a couple of minutes so we can get everyone.
Did you just say Rod Khalid?
Yes, I did. Rod.
Well, I'm out of the car, so that's an accomplishment today. I'm in California. I've been in California since '85. After NES, I went to Switzerland, the American College of Switzerland, for undergrad in economics, and ended up coming to California in '85 to do a master's degree in marketing at the Peter Drucker Center. And then, as things would have it, I turned and I went down and got another undergraduate in interior design and went back to being on job sites, which is where I grew up because my dad was an engineer in Kuwait. And so I joke with him today that he was screaming at contractors back in the day, and now I scream at contractors. So I've been doing that since, oh my gosh, since '94. So I've been all over the place, hotel work, spas, wellness centers, and I did a podcast for about 6 years. I just kind of called it quits on that one, but I'm getting the bug again. So I think I'll be doing another podcast, co-hosting another one, and producing some other people's come the fall, but I'm taking the summer off. So it's been fun. And I think Dr. Ziad, basically, when he was talking about the cosmopolitan component and not feeling like we belong anywhere, but at the same time feeling like we belong everywhere, it's very true. Very, very true. In fact, almost the same exact words as something I have been saying for the last part of the last 20 years. So it's a blessing to have that. It's awesome to see everybody today. It's a blast really to see everybody today. So I think we should do this at least once a month. Khalid, I texted you. There's a lot of power and a lot of fun in this, and we are very blessed to have a very unique support system and a common reference point that I'll tell you, going to the college in Switzerland, we have a very similar situation because the school was no more than 300 people. And we have been constantly in contact, and it really is a very, very blessed thing that we are gifted with. So.
Good. And you definitely have the broadcasting voice. So I think you're hosting the next one. Definitely. So very good. Let's hear from Padma. I know you're coming in and going out, so I hope you don't drop out. So
No.
Go ahead. Just a minute or two.
I'm Padma. I used to be Padma Raju, if you guys remember me. Of course, my maiden name has changed after I got married. And sorry about all the interruption because I was just running out of battery and I forgot my charger in the car. So that was the issue that was going on. Anyways, I'm so happy, Khalid, that you got all of us together. It was lovely meeting all of you. In fact, I've been in touch with Sangeeta for the past 10 years. And Rana, Intisar, all these girls. Asya, I'm very happy that Asya has joined us. In fact, I've been trying to trace her. In fact, all my life, I didn't get to connect with her. So after I passed out of O-levels, we went on to do A-levels. I believe Andrew was with us. Andrew,
Yeah,
were you there?
yeah. Me and Ruwaid all did A-levels, yeah.
Right? Yes,
Yeah.
and we just 4 students in the class. Surprising. Anyways, I finished my O-levels, A-levels, and then I went on to work for KNPC. I worked there for 2 years. And since my dad retired, I had to come back. Before the invasion, I think I came back to India in '86. And then, as history says, I got married. I had 2 daughters. I was a homemaker for quite a while. But now, for the past 10 years, I've joined my husband's business. He's into construction. And that's how I keep myself busy. I'm an accomplished yoga teacher.
Oh, okay.
So that's my life.
Excellent. Thank you
It's
so
just
much.
wonderful.
And I'm
Yeah,
so,
thank you. Thank
so
you,
glad
Khalid.
you joined us. It's hard getting a hold of you, so thank you for being here. And catching up with all these things.
It's just different time zones, that's all.
All right, next we didn't hear from Andrew last time. So Andrew, I'd love to catch up with what's going on.
Yeah, so it's interesting because we could sit here and I could bore you with what I've done in my career and where we are, but I think what's more relevant for me is I remember arriving at Kuwait International Airport in the summer of 1976. And it was literally, I remember the door opening on the Kuwait Airways plane, and it was like a furnace. And it was the old airport before they built the new international one. And it was chaos, bedlam, dust. There was a dust storm that just happened, Toz, I think they call it. Yeah, I was 11, I think. And, so I got taken from a small town in the UK, from a normal background, quite boring probably. And then suddenly you're in this school with people from every nationality and background. And all I can say is it has laid the foundations for the rest of my life. And in terms of my love of travel, I think appreciating other people from other backgrounds and religions, and there's a lot of ignorance in this world, a lot of racism, and I think if everybody had the upbringing and opportunity that we had at the NES, it would disappear, because people we're all the same. We're all in different time zones now, and obviously there's bad people in the world, but on the whole you've got to believe that there's good people. And I think and it was interesting what Dr. Rajat was saying is that there were these three elements. It was my parents personally made a big sacrifice to send me to the school because it was expensive, and it gave me a real opportunity to develop, and we all did pretty well out of it, and then since then I've traveled the world. I've worked in Lebanon in the oil industry, work in North America now, and I still retain my Arabic. We live just outside Geneva as well. See people like Peter, we went skiing. We've hooked up and go skiing because he comes to my village in the Alps, and I've just been out to Cuba to see Paramjit Chatwal, if you remember. And,
in Cuba?
Ambassador.
Yeah. He's living like an international playboy. That's all I'll say. So he hasn't changed one bit. He tells people he's 35. Can you believe it? And he has, no word of a lie, he has the biggest swimming pool in Havana, in the whole of Cuba. And he just spends his whole life chewing on cigars. But I was there a couple of years ago. We had a great time. And then Omar Ben Khadra, some of you remember OBK.
Yes.
So in touch with him, so we catch up. And these are relationships that we started in our formative years. And I think the other thing is we saw Kuwait start from nothing. It was just a village in the desert. And as the ring roads got wider and wider and moved out further and further. And about, Rana, remind me, how many years ago was it when we visited and we saw you? We met up?
It was shortly after the reunion, so it's probably 2008, because we had Dina, we had our reunion in 2008, maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So it was at the same time. You barely missed, the reunion, and then came like a month after or so.
And that was
great.
great.
You're talking about the Sandstorm reunion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Sandstorm reunion. Yes.
Yeah, that was around 11.
Yeah.
11.
It was in 11. Okay. See, 2011. Then. Yeah, 10 years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, I think for me, it's I think we're all blessed really, and we've all it's great to see everybody. We've all done well, and we're alive. We've survived the pandemic. We hopefully all have families, and I had 3 beautiful daughters, lots of grandchildren now. I was lucky to sell my business a couple of years ago. I'm working for the company that bought me as their Northern Europe president. I'm retiring this year, which is so I'm going to full-time grandfather, and I have a passion for. I do a lot of cycling, so I do a lot of charity rides. But I was a bit humbled there. I thought, well, I listened to Intezar, and I thought, I haven't really done a lot, really. and it's probably a little bit selfish in reality. You know, maybe the next chapter in life, start to think about, I'm helping my kids do all, start their lives, and maybe do, if you've got good. I always remember, we always said there's a lot of Arabic phrases around, have good health, and that's if you've got your faculties and your health, and maybe we should try and, as a group, change the planet a bit and leave a legacy for our children. Who knows? So I don't know how we can do that, but I think this is a start. And I don't think there's anything like it in reality. There's no. I'm sure there's international schools all over the world, but we had, I remember I did the yearbook for 2 years, and it was so nice looking back on that, and working with Nadia on that. We had some great times, and producing that. And at the time, it felt so insignificant. It was just kind of. I remember forcing everybody to take their photographs, and they hated it. Everybody hated it, and it was. I used to have so many arguments with the teachers, and then. Now, I'm sure it's one of those things that we all look back and because I think one of the things that would be good today would be to actually replace our pictures now with what we looked like then. Because that's how we remember. Rana, you haven't changed one bit. And Joanne, you haven't changed at all. And Nada and Khalid, I'd recognise you, and Amma, I'd recognise you in the street straight away. It wouldn't be an issue. So, but we had some fun times. It was a difficult place as well to live, I think, if we're honest, because there were lots of constraints, but we managed to do our bit. We had fun, didn't we? We had parties, and we had disco music. We all thought Michael Jackson was amazing, and but it was fun times, and I'm sure it was great going back. And I took my kids out there, and I visited Rana and Omar. I went to Bahrain and Dubai, visited a lot of friends in Dubai that were out there, and it's it was nice, and we've all still got that seed in us to travel and meet people, and long may it continue. So and Arabic comes in so handy. People used to call me the Inglisi Bedu, so it's got me if I go to Egypt or Lebanon or anywhere, it's just very, very handy, or Morocco.
Wonderful. Great catching up with you, Andrew. And yeah, you can imagine what my father felt like when he arrived at Kuwait Airport in 1956. It was a shed and nothing else, and just dust storms. So yes, it's been quite a history.
They were pioneers, weren't they? Pioneers.
Yep.
Pioneers for sure. Visionaries that I couldn't have done. Leave everything I know, comfort zone, and end up somewhere just for the betterment of my own future family. So. Amazing. So before we lose Dina, because it's like 3 a.m. for her, so applause for everybody. Applause for Dina.
Oh no, thank you.
Woke up for this, so God bless her for that. Dina, before you go, please tell us a little bit about yourself and your family and what you're doing.
Well, we were living in Kuwait for a while. After I finished school, first of all, I studied in the States. I did engineering. I came back to Kuwait, worked for an engineering firm, and met my husband, who's Australian Lebanese. We got married. The invasion happened, so we moved back to Sydney. And 3 years later, we went back to Kuwait. And we moved back to Australia 6 years ago. So now we're settled here. I've got 2 sons. One's getting married next year, which is exciting, and the other one had to move out because he's working in casualties at the hospital, and because of COVID, he's just moved out temporarily from home. And I became a teacher when I became a mum, and I work here part-time as a teacher too. But it's great being back in Sydney, nice weather, but I really miss Kuwait.
Dina, did you teach in your English school?
No, I taught at Kuwait English School. I sent my kids to Kuwait English School, and I taught there for 15 years. Yeah.
Excellent. I've challenged everybody to bring someone on here, and I'm going to challenge you to bring May. I don't know where is she? She's in
San Francisco.
Oh, so it should be easy for her. So next time, bring her on. Tell her. She needs to be on here.
Yeah. Well, I Zoom with her and my cousins once a month now because of COVID. We Zoom together and we discuss the different topics.
Show her this video once I put the link in.
I will. I will.
Convince her.
Anyway, I'm gonna leave you. Sorry, because I just woke up and I'm gonna try and go back to sleep. But it was lovely to see you all. Take care and thank you very much, Khaled, for organizing this. Much appreciated.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Dina.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Dina.
Bye.
Bye.
We're saying goodbye to Dina and we're saying hello to Tracy. She just joined us. I am
Hello.
in the UK, right? You're in the
Yes.
Okay. So, Rajia is coming in too, an hour late. But so, hey, thanks for joining in. And we're still going around hearing from people we haven't heard from. Rajia, her audio.
She just woke up. It's California time.
It took her that long to wash her hair.
I know. She's still muted. And it's not my fault. Okay. I think you're on now, Rajia. You and Tracy.
Raja?
Raja.
40 years?
I didn't know who the hell you were talking about. It's this woman.
She didn't change her name for Hollywood. It's still Raja.
Yeah. Raja.
Wet hair.
Raja.
Hello.
Oh my God.
darling.
I remember you. Wow.
Hi, who's this?
Hi.
You missed your friend Intisar. She came and she left. So
What? I know she
time.
sent me. She's like, where are you, baby? Hold
she
on.
was here for an hour. You're an hour and a half late. You know that, right?
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
No, Tracy already told us
I am
that
Arab.
she was going to be
Did
late.
she not
You're
tell you
okay,
this?
Tracy.
My God. Did she
Tracy,
not
can
tell
you close your the curtains behind you so we can see you?
Sure.
What's that halo? It's better. All
So,
right.
we're still going around giving everybody.
I'm hoping you will join a Zoom call, blah, blah, blah. Oh.
Is that better?
Hi, baby, you're gone.
A little bit better. Just a
That
little.
must have been one hell of a wrap-up party, Raja.
You
Yeah. I think you got the picture going. Yeah.
That's not what happened.
No, yes, I'm sure
Don't
it's
believe
not.
anything. Don't
Nice,
believe
somebody really
anything.
sensible was on there.
Yeah, she's looking for some excuses on the phone now.
I know. I'm like quickly just going to just say, tell me what you said.
Random sentence, quickly.
So, hey guys, we're just going around. I just want to make sure we hear from everyone. Asia, like I said, let's keep it to a minute or two. So, about yourself, where you are, what you're doing, and
Oh my God, it's
how you're
formal.
feeling.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you're gonna have to think of something.
I know, totally formal, right?
Thank you so much for organizing this. It's really nice. It was a surprise. I never expected to see everybody. People I've been trying to reach Paddy and other people as well, but it's like I said, I'm not a social media person, so I just did not manage to find anybody. But it's so good to see everybody. I left during after the Gulf War, and we came to Dubai. My husband works for the Emirates Airline, and we moved over here. We've been living here for nearly 30 years. I graduated from Kensington, but I did my post-graduation from Sunderland University. I did in education and started working at the South British School over here in Dubai, and I've been working over here. But right now, I work as an inclusion teacher, and at the moment, I'm specializing in dyslexia. So I teach special needs children, and that's what I do. And it's just amazing doing that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you should join our Facebook group so you can always know when we're having these things.
No, I
Join
don't.
Rana, Nasser? You don't look
on.
any different.
Yeah,
honey.
no, it's so good. But it's like Andrew was saying, I'm so grateful to see everybody. So grateful for even in this pandemic time. I think we're all together and we have our families together. We're really blessed, and seeing everybody right now, I have no words, honestly. I don't know how to say this, but it's so good to see everybody. It's like going back so many years back to school. Oh, yeah. I married in Kuwait. I've got 3 kids. and they graduated from England. My youngest, he graduated from Manchester University, and they're all busy working, and that's it. None of them married. So I'm not a grandfather, Andrew. You graduated, you're far ahead. I wish I was, but no, not as yet. Yeah. So this is it. I'm still working. Yeah.
And thank Fazil for me for passing the information on to him.
Oh, thank you so much. I will. Thank you so much, Khalid.
Appreciate that, and good catching up with.
Lovely to see everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. And let's move on to Nader. Nader, let's hear a little bit about you.
I thought we were going to try to handle the new people that showed up.
Well, we'll come around. You've been waiting patiently, and I think last time I missed you. That's why I want to make sure I get to you this time.
This is so formal, y'all.
Yeah, we want to make sure we want to hear from everyone.
It wasn't.
It wasn't only until you showed up, Reza.
See, I see.
That's why I waited an hour and a half.
Next time you need to organize it, and then it won't be so formal.
There you go, Ryan.
It'll be a party, baby. There you go.
So go ahead, Nader.
I hope everybody's enjoying my pictures from Hawaii, but I have a project out there, so I travel there quite often. I'm trying to make sure everybody's enjoying everything I get to have. But I live in the DC area, so it's very political. It's nice to go on the other coast. I graduated as an electrical engineer, but I really don't do engineering. I work on airports and critical national infrastructure doing security design. So I've got my own little company that I started again a year ago in the middle of COVID, and thank God it's doing okay.
Excellent, excellent. Good to see you here.
Are you a grandfather yet?
Not yet, thank God.
I got somebody to join me then.
Gigo, are you a grandfather yet? Gigo,
Me?
are you a grandfather yet? Yeah.
Yes, I am. My daughter gave birth 2 years ago to Jenna. Yeah.
Wow, mabruk.
Nice.
Didn't have my permission though, so I'm kind of pissed off about it.
Wonderful. All right, Amir, let's hear from you.
Sure. Amir, here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I think I left in '81 June straight to the US, and I've been here since then. I did actually have a 5-year stunt in the Middle East, 3 years in Dubai and a couple of years in Riyadh. So now I have 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy. 3 of them are married. So Andrew, I'm still one behind you. I have 3 grandchildren.
Wow.
So 1 more to go to catch up with you. That's about it. So
excellent, excellent. Very good. And let's move on to Tracy then. Tracy, if you could unmute yourself and then tell us all about yourself. Not all, just 2 minutes worth.
Oh my God.
I think 2 minutes is way too long. I can tell you all about myself in about half a minute. So I live in London. I have a son who's 21 years old and is doing maths. I don't have any grandchildren, but I do have my niece has had a daughter. I'm very kind of over the moon about, so I'm kind of like a grandmother, but by proxy. So I feel amazed about that. I work at City. I did maths and computing at Imperial. What else? I work in commodities, and that's about it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah, that's it, really.
And
I live in the center of London.
And you English school after O levels, not A levels. Is that right? Or did you stick
No,
around?
I did A levels as well, and then I came here. I screwed my A levels up for various reasons, and then I came to London, did them in the evening, went to uni, and that was it.
Wonderful.
Did you have any news of Louise? Whatever happened to her? I've never managed to find her.
So I found Louise, and Raja, you were in touch with Louise, weren't you?
I was.
I think that, yeah, the last time I spoke to Louise, she was married. I don't know if she had children at that point, but then I'll hand the baton over to Raja Because I think, you spoke to her after that, didn't you?
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah.
So, okay, great.
She doesn't do social media, does she?
But yes, I will turn this over to Raja then. And your turn.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing
How are
okay.
you? Y'all, I just want you to know that Khalid is my Urdu teacher. So I have to say, I'm really, really appreciative of that. It's fantastic. Because I, unlike the rest of the brain boxes here, do nothing to do with maths or finance or science, which is so, actually the science part is my father's fault. But what I do is some really ridiculous thing where I need people like you all from different countries who speak fluently to teach me how to sound like I speak your language, you know, practically overnight. I work in Hollywood. It's been an interesting sort of trajectory completely. I think Tracy and I both had like an unusual path.
Shall we say?
Yeah.
More on that, not on this call. Okay.
Exactly. Another time. But yeah,
For another time.
You know, when you say sort of somebody carving their own path that is very, very different from what I anticipated, you know, I thought I'd be a veterinarian, but since my father said, animal doctor, what for animal doctor? Raja, no, I want you to be a fashion designer. So
real doctor.
No, he didn't want me to be a doctor, fashion designer. I've never done fashion design. I'd like to learn, you should do this. It was so ridiculous. So I decided to do my own thing. And sort of that was, I fell into it. Luckily, I seem to always have an ear for mimicry. So what I do is I voice match actresses anywhere between 8 and 80, and they never know that it's me, but I replace their performances in movies like Nicole Kidman and Kate Blanchett, Angelina Jolie, that kind of thing. Really unimportant stuff in the world, but super fun. I have no children.
All my nieces and nephews know you, by the way. You know why? As soon as I said it, they were all like, really? Is she on Facebook? I want to Facebook. I said, please do it as a fan.
Just do
Don't
it as a fan.
intrude
No
on
problem.
my,
that's so funny. I actually had no idea, but it's true. It was really sweet. One of the sweet things that occurred that I really never had an idea that we would have, you know, that would have any sort of impact was I did a kiddie show a long time ago. I'll feed you in a minute. Hold on. I did a kiddie show a long time ago called Power Rangers. It happened to be really successful. I'm gonna kill you. that happened to be super successful. I had no idea because I'd never seen the show.
I was so jealous.
What? Yeah. No. Did you see? I had gills.
I loved it. I loved them. Just, you know.
I had a fish mask.
Next time, you have to wear that.
The reason. Did I ever tell you the reason I had that stupid outfit? The reason was that the costume designer's boyfriend really dug me. So she made sure I looked like ass when everybody else had cool costumes.
I thought it was adorable.
I looked like a fish. I had gills. It was great. I had a brain with gills. It was just ridiculous. But what I love about it, actually, the serious part of it is, all these years later, we still have like special needs darlings and people who grew up with it and people who called me up or actually Facebooked me early on. I had no idea what they were doing. I was like, why are all these kids getting in touch with me? I had no idea. But they would say things like, when I was little and I was being abused, I pretended I was you and it saved my life. I was like, what? So I decided that, you know, I'd really start to be more responsible. And I love them. I will do anything. They want me to put on that stupid outfit and do the little signs and go to the shows. I'll do it just because I love them so much, you know, and the special needs darlings, they kill me. I love them. I just love them. So yeah, different trajectory and living in LA, babe.
Hopefully coming to London soon.
You pain in the ass. I'm still mad at you. I just want you to know that.
I know you are. We will continue the fight later. Yeah.
Very mad. Okay.
Fight offline.
Oh, Louise, she went from, she has Benji and, oh my God, Miles. she was in Venezuela for a while, but they had like shooting on the front lawn. Then I think she went to Hong Kong, and now there's all kinds of, I think trouble's following her actually, but yeah, I think that's the last time actually I was in touch with her. And recently I found Adam somewhere, but it's been a long time. Well, long enough. Hello, okay, so hey, who's this lovely lady?
Wonderful. That's great. That's great. Which Louise are we talking about?
Louise Collins.
Yes. Oh, okay. Oh, so you guys are in touch with her. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Louise,
I
Tracy.
still have some wine glasses for her, by the way.
Louise, Tracy, and Intisar. Those were the people I was closest to in Kuwait, and who I'm friends with now.
If you find her, I have them. Sherry glasses.
It's been years.
So before I open this up, I just want to make sure everybody had a chance to talk. I think I'm going around the screen. Yes, everybody spoke. Yes.
Hi.
Throw in myself. I've been in the Chicago area since 1990, and I'm an electrical engineer. I did my O-levels, came to Purdue University, and then started working in Chicago area. And I run a engineering corporation right now. And I'm married to Saima, and she's third grade teacher in a private school. And she's been teaching for 8 years. And I have 3 kids. The oldest one just graduated from Illinois Institute of Technology with engineering management degree, looking for a job. And then my middle son, he graduated from the University of Oklahoma and is going to start law school in Columbia in this fall, in a couple of months, inshallah. And then my daughter, she's doing neurosciences in university in St. Louis. So that's the 3 of us kids. And like Dr. Riyad and other people said, Ziad, I meant, we are blessed to be international citizens of this world. Again, I also don't consider myself as a citizen of a particular country, just this whole world. We grew up with kids from all different countries, and I look at myself that way, not restricted to geography. And it has guided me throughout my life, this experience at NES, including the interfaith work that I do, that we treat each other with respect and equality and learn from each other and not divide ourselves. So that's been my passion, to do interfaith work and engineering to pay the bills. And here we are. So
thank you for organizing this. I don't know what we'd do without you, to be honest.
Rad was saying, hey, let's do this more often. I'm really open to that, but it's very hard organizing, trying to get people. So, I mean, if we start doing this regularly, I think it'll come more naturally. And even if a few of us come on, I think that's good, right? And,
you just set up.
And if anyone's in London, please drop in.
She's a great tour guide, by the way. Just FYI.
So I actually, I mean, I would love to do something in Kuwait because that's our central location. But I think the most realistic would be something like London, UK, get together, or Dubai. I don't know. One of these years.
I'd vote for Vegas.
Yeah, you know what? I vote for Hawaii.
No, it's murder there. It's like
yeah, I can do stuff. I can lift blocks, whatever you need, I can do it.
Yeah.
Make myself do it. I love
what goes
Hawaii.
in Vegas
It's so
stays
beautiful.
in Vegas, isn't it?
Sorry?
What goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas.
There you go.
I feel at my age now, there is nothing good that could possibly go on in Vegas that anyone would be remotely interested in.
But seriously, anybody who comes to Chicago, I know Nader came, we had a great time. Has it been 2 years? It's been 1 year. I think 1 year.
No, it's been 2 years before.
Has it been 2 years?
COVID.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it was a fantastic time, just even one-on-one time. Anybody comes to Chicago, please call us, call me, visit.
I was, I think since I was flying over, I think I was flying from Toronto down to St. Louis, and I flew over Chicago, and I was changing it to Chicago O'Hare, and I think I messaged you, didn't I, Khaled, and said maybe we'll next time we'll stay a bit longer. Yeah,
yes, exactly. That would be awesome. Just meeting.
Rod, were you saying I was a tour operator.
The tour guide.
A tour guide. You know what?
Yes.
My cousin came here. He's Canadian and like severely. I think he's high on the autistic spectrum. And I was trying to take him on a tour guide, and he literally had memorized the whole of London. And he actually took me on a tour guide. I don't think I did a really good job, but I will try better next time. If you're in London, I definitely will try.
I have no complaints. So, but I'll take you up on that.
Oh, you're so sweet, you know.
Jawad, you said you were in Cairo or Alexandria?
Actually, Alexandria, not Cairo, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going there. Go on,
Let's
we're gonna come
go.
and see you
Yeah,
there.
it's good.
Yeah.
We got great beaches and great weather.
Yeah, and most of my childhood holidays were spent there.
You're kidding me.
I'm half Egyptian, so yeah.
But you got to
We just
visit.
found out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, when I went there when I was older, I had flashbacks. It was just weird. I would be walking down that main road in Alexandria, and there's a restaurant right at the end which has like a seafood sort of part, like a an aquarium with seafood that you can actually eat. And it was just weird. I had these flashbacks, and it was sort of made me feel both happy and sad at the same time. Just yeah, I'd love to go again. Mm.
Yeah, you should definitely come by. Look me up if you do.
I will.
Maybe we
I
do
will.
Egypt then. The Red Sea is fantastic.
Red Sea is my next destination, so yeah.
Yeah, Hurghada or somewhere.
Yep, Hurghada, Gona. There's a whole bunch of nice places out there.
A friend of mine.
Took my son up there now.
A friend of mine from college actually has a scuba diving operation on the other side in
I'm in.
Jordan, in Aqaba.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's so
Anytime
cool.
you're ready, Andrew. I'll bring the
I've
gear.
never been to what is
Oh,
it?
Petra, dude.
Aqaba?
Petra.
No, Petra.
Want to do a Petra outing? Yes.
Raj, are you on for that?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
sounds like you need to call a travel agent tomorrow and start working on group rates.
Please don't do that, because you'd be amazed at how fast I can get to somewhere if I need to.
Well, what about the rest of
or
us,
no
though,
COVID.
Tracy?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Egypt and Jordan might be a fun trip, actually.
Yeah.
I'd love that. I
Absolutely,
really would
yes.
love that.
We do it in
Yeah.
the winter when it's miserable in the UK. That'd be great. And Chicago's pretty cold in the winter, Khaled.
It's too cold. Don't
But the sea is very cold in Egypt in the winter, right? You can't, you need a wetsuit.
Well,
But at least it's not 1,000 degrees, you know.
Seriously, as cold as the Pacific is, any day. Well, I mean, it's freezing over here.
But summer, I mean, winter. In winter, the Red Sea is actually fine. The weather out there is actually really, really good. So
I've scuba dived in there in the winter. It's lovely.
Yeah.
yeah.
I went in the winter. I had to have a really strong, good wetsuit. I'm obviously a chicken. Yeah.
That must have been Alexandria, not the Red Sea, though.
No, the Red Sea.
Oh yeah.
I went up. Yeah.
It helps to have a
Well,
bit of puppy cut.
I've developed that over COVID. Thank you, and I have developed that. I've got enough now. Thank you.
Hi, Asia.
Bye, Asia.
Bye, Asia.
Bye, Asia.
I just tried to get my grandson's just visiting, and I tried to get him up to come and say hello, but he went very shy. So,
You know what? I'd love that. I was thinking about that if whoever can just bring their kids on, or even grandkids, and just say hi, because that's, talking to all of you takes us back 40 years, right?
Yeah.
Realize that we're at that age that at that time that our kids are now, and it's amazing to
I'd love that.
generational gap.
Yeah, I would love
I don't know,
that.
Khaled. I mean, somebody might spill the beans, you know?
Well,
Well, there's the mute button,
Just say
right?
hi, mute everyone, and then they can go.
As they're talking.
Nader, we promise we won't tell them the truth.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
So I
Rod
missed,
is Orange
I
County,
missed
that's
Micah
right.
as well. Okay.
I noticed that all of Nader's pictures were football. Everything he posted, all sports-related pictures. So how bad could it be?
he was like my hero in sports. He was always the fast. Him and Panos Ganini.
Panos, yes.
Yeah.
They were always the fastest and the strongest at everything. So.
and Nader and I used to play the recorder in all the bands, and
That's so
you know,
cute.
that was the
I
one
love
thing I
it.
could do music.
Raja, you were pretty fast.
What's that?
Raja was
Yeah.
pretty fast.
He
Raja,
was a
we
fast
were,
runner, yeah.
Yep.
we were both
Raja,
runners.
Nader?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the very charming name that Interstar still calls me is Bazooka, and
Uh-huh.
I forgot that. I
Yeah,
forgot
so
that.
long ago. Oh my
You
God,
remember
yes.
we had
Bazooka,
like
right.
a debate thing. I think Miss Durant started that. And
What, calling her
we had the
name?
girls against the boys. And Rana, Raja, and one more girl was on one team talking about, you know, women's rights and everything. Do you guys remember that?
No.
No, but
And
women's
you
rights
were a
sounds
bazooka
right
at
up my
that time
alley.
for sure, yes.
I was
Oh
so
my
out of
God.
it.
Debating society. Remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I was outspoken, so talking about any rights. So
Amazing.
that's me. I have to go. No,
No,
I had
everybody's
so many
very shy on
detentions.
here.
Remember, I think I'm the most amongst you all with all the detentions. You know, like I remember.
Yes, it was great.
I remember Mr. Khib calling my dad and telling him
No.
he has 6 detentions. We suspend them after 3. She should have been suspended, but she's a smart kid. You know, how can I suspend her? And he said, and then he said, she keeps talking to Ruwaida. He said, separate them, put them in.
I thought
Like,
it was
I'm
also
saying-
like chewing gum when you shouldn't have been chewing gum. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, and I keep saying, I didn't do anything. I mean, now I know I'm ADHD, but at that time, come on, you know, I didn't do anything wrong, you know. They don't understand me. But, well, right now I get teachers to understand since I do the assessments, you know, and I tell your kids.
Excellent.
I remember one teacher telling me, don't tell me about this ADHD mumbo jumbo. My father was in the Marines and physical punishment. That's my answer. And I said,
Wow.
oh my God.
God.
Yeah, because my son is ADHD as well. And I went to the principal and I said, I've never asked you to change my son into another class. But this teacher, I cannot deal with him. You know, he's mumbo jumbo. He has to go to another class, you know, like.
Which
but
school was
anyway.
this in? An American school?
Yeah, here in Kuwait, in the American International School, you know, and I mean, I started
Mambo
my kids
jumbo.
in the English school then because the English school was not open to, you know, my son was so hyper and so on. So the American International School was more flexible, you know, they'd listen to me more, but this teacher was like, I've never, you know, I've always said, just please make sure he sits at the front and I'll give you guidelines and so on. But it's tough, you know. And now I understand how difficult my parents had it with me being. You know, like,
I think about my
You're-
parents every day, and I just wonder how they did it. Really.
You're in good company though, Rana. We're all ADHD. I mean,
yeah.
there
Yeah.
was no diagnosis at the time, right? So we were just basically, you know, just troublesome kids. But you know,
Yeah,
you're in good
exactly.
company. It's a very good support group. Khaled just turned into a support group meeting.
Yeah.
I remember she always used to get me in trouble. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Ruwaida was the good one. Yeah.
I know.
That's true.
I tried, but I never succeeded.
Yeah, Mr. Hicks used to say to me, why does everything you do look like you've started it and then you ran off, did something else and then came back? You know, like you're constantly away, you know, because yeah, we were all hyper. I couldn't sit still for 10 seconds.
Well, I think that was natural. When we were younger, everything like seemed very hyper.
But also, we used to drink Pepsi Cola like it was water.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
Used to
we
come
had-
in crates.
we used to have deliveries of crates of Pepsi
Yeah.
Cola.
God.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
I still do that.
I wouldn't let
They
my
still have
grand-
home deliveries like that. Yeah. They
Really?
do.
Oh.
Yeah. But you can't blame it on the cola. I mean, I don't have any cola and I'm still all over the place. But
No, my poor son, he had none of that. No cola, no anything.
yeah.
Oh, you bad
Not
mother.
even juice. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways.
Hey guys, after these guys. Nice meeting you all.
Ahmed.
Thanks, Ahmed.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. So lovely to see you guys. Really.
Bye.
Need to call. Bye.
Yes.
Bye.
It's tea time here in the UK. My wife's reminding me that I've got to go and pick them.
All right, so let's call
Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you.
Been fantastic. Lovely to meet you all. And we should definitely do a physical reunion when COVID passes.
I
Yeah.
love
Going on with
the
Omar?
Egypt trip. Egypt
Yeah, no.
and Petra. I'd love that.
Yeah,
I'd love
Definitely,
that.
We'll set up a
I mean-
monthly Zoom call to discuss it. I think that's probably a good idea. Just set up a regular call. Whoever can make it, and then we can basically talk a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Lots of love to all of
Hey
you.
guys.
Raja is going to
Bye,
put it
guys.
together.
Lovely to see you
Bye.
again.
Nice to see you all
Take care.
again.
Edith.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Amazing, better than I expected. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Well done, Khalid.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice job.
Better run,
Well
Khalid.
done, Peter.
Take care, guys. Good
Bye,
to see you
guys.
all again.
I'm hitting
Bye.
the red button. I'm hitting the red button. All right, here we go.